In today's one-on-one episode, I want to talk to you about something that holds dear to my heart. In my nearly 40-year journey, I've had different definition of this word, and this word is the famous C word, change. What is your definition of change? Do you think you've changed over the past year, over the past 6 months, over the past 10 years? Can you think of someone in your life that has changed? Has it been something that was threatening to you? Has it been something that you've admired? Do you look up to those people who've changed, or do you look down on those people that have changed? Well, in this video, I want to talk to you about two powerful concepts that, to be honest, I've stood on either side of it. And through my journey, as I've explored, as I've been forced to be put in situations that I never thought I would be in, from Madagascar to America, unemployed over a year, facing deportation, completely changing my life, completely facing situations that, to be honest, I never thought in my right mind I would ever be in. I learned a few things about what the word change is and how it has a lot to do with how we view the world and other people. The first concept I want to talk about is how your ego wants to prove that you are right and that you didn't need to change. There's this concept of a confirmation bias, consistency bias. When we hear about consistency, we usually attach consistency with good things, values, character. But the truth is, in a lot of ways, consistency can be the biggest trap, the biggest imaginary jail that you put yourself in your whole life. And you wake up one day wondering, why did you keep doing what you were doing when you knew you wanted something different? And one of the biggest hurdles is going to be your ego. Because as we do things, think about an idea that you have, a particular philosophy that you have, maybe something that you were taught when you were younger about how the world was, about how your neighborhood was, about how the people would look like you are, about what your talent is. For example, for me growing up, I used to think that I was a shy intellectual who was good at soccer. And that was extremely important as part of my identity. Everything that I was doing was around that, and I was seeking validation around that. And that also was part of the cycle because others also saw me as an intellectual, as an introvert, and as a soccer superstar. But as I went to college and I gave up on my dream of a soccer player, as I faced challenges with grades, because part of it was because I got complacent about studying and I was focusing on this new phase of my life where I was socializing more and thinking that I could get by with just the minimum. I started having bad grades. And as I saw others around me excelling in their craft, I faced an identity shift. And that put me into a situation where I had to face the decision of whether or not I needed to change, whether I need to work harder, whether I needed to do things that before I didn't think I would be doing, whether it is pursuing a specific career path, whether it is deciding to not think about soccer and socializing all the time and think about discipline and think about doing things in the dark, but also as an introvert to learn about putting myself out there, learning about communication and different skills. In that moment, one of the biggest hurdles that I faced was to accept that what I was doing was something that was not what I needed to do in the next chapter of my life. And I needed to get comfortable with telling myself that I don't need to prove to other people that I am this version of myself, that I can be way more, that I can do way more, that I can change my mind. Because one of the things that will stop you in your life is because you want others to see you as this person who knew what you wanted to do, who stood by what you thought you wanted to do, and that you kept doing it every single step of the way. And that's a imaginary standard, a standard that you put yourself in, that creates this mental jail that literally stops you from doing the things, the exploration, the discovery, the learning, to start things that make you look like a fool at the beginning, to ask questions that make you look stupid, to do things as a beginner. If you're not willing to let go of this part of your ego that wants to prove that you've been right, that you've been doing what you wanted to do, you will never truly change. Which leads to my second point, which is you want what they want. You don't want what you want. Wanting what you want is one of the most powerful concepts of life. It's related to desire, to passion, to purpose, to being able to do things when nobody else is watching, to be able to persevere, to have faith, even when everyone around you doesn't believe in your idea, in your passion, in your purpose. But the biggest hurdle is when we look at what others want and we design our life based on that, because we're seeking for this approval, for this validation, to belong. We're seeking for status, for compliments, and we don't actually take the time to connect with what it is that truly moves us. And so we live our whole life driven by external validation, when the real journey starts when you first connect with yourself and you develop this intrinsic motivation that will last way longer than anybody else's external approval. We're all, as humans, affected by externalities. So for sure, validation from others is a powerful, powerful influence. But if you depend on that for your self-worth, for your sense of direction, for your sense of decision making, you will never become the person that can wake up in the morning feeling proud about what you're doing, to be able to have the integrity to do the things even when nobody is watching, to do the things long enough to take you to the place where you really want to be. If you keep looking at what others want, you will never become the person that you can be. One of the reasons that is the case is because you think you know what others want when others actually don't know what they want. And a lot of times what I've realized is others don't really know what they want, and they wait for others to take the lead, to show that they are doing something else before they decide that they want that same thing. Maybe your significant other right now is telling you that your idea is not a good idea, but maybe it will take you to show the first steps, take the initiative, and when they see you doing it, they'll realize that they want that as well. What you don't realize is the power of taking the lead, the power of standing on your dream, your purpose, and having the confidence to take the first step. Because others in the world will respond in such a powerful way that you can never even imagine when you decide to want what you want. Because if there's one skill that differentiates people who make it at the top, it's people who decide to want what they want. Even when it's raining outside, even when people don't believe in you, to say that what I want is worth it for me to pursue, for you to give my all to, for me to go all in into, until it's all said and done. And that thing might change over your lifetime. You may want one thing in the season of your life, and then another, and then another. And that is part of change. But if you really want the greatest transformation of your life, you're going to have to want what you want and not just what they want. Yes, you may have a family. Yes, you may have a significant other. Yes, you may have people that count upon you. But don't live in this imaginary situation where you think you must do only one thing for them to love you. Because for the ones that really love you, they will grow with you. They will change with you. And what you don't realize is maybe they need you to change so that they can be inspired for their own greatest transformation. And the way you will change and you take them as part of this journey is going to be a big piece of this process. Because a lot of times when we change, we think that we must put down other people. But you can change in a healthy way through communication, through being a positive leader, through doing it in a way that doesn't put other people's own dreams and own stages of their lives down. As you change, you will have to accept that your journey is different than others and that it's not on you to force others to take a step. As a leader, you must take ownership of your own steps, but also listen to other people. Accept that they may not be in the same phase as you, but if you really care about them, you have to be patient about it. And you can make change not only work for you, but for those that you care about. And what I've learned in my life is that change is such a powerful thing when it's driven by a commitment to having a positive mindset, to consistently learning, to consistently being open-minded, to consistently listening to others, to consistently being someone who doesn't put their ego as the bottom line, but the purpose, the message, the why. Maybe you're doing it for your family. You're doing it for a special cause. Why are you doing it? That is the bottom line that will link you and those that you really love in your life together. And if that bond is strong enough, then your change will not only bless you, but bless those around you and those that you serve. So again, don't let your ego keep you in the same action plan that you've been doing, the same identity that you think you have. You can be way more. You can do something different. You can change your mind. And secondly, you don't need to want what you think others want. You can take the lead and want what you want and allow the journey to take you exactly towards the greatest transformation of your life. As always, wherever you are, wherever you come from, fam, you are destined for greatness. Get busy living, not busy dying. Love.